What's up, you vagabonds? Today I'm going to be making Snake, or showing how to make Snake in Scratch, because why not? First of all, open Scratch. If you didn't figure that one out by yourself, then leave, there's no chance. But once you've got Scratch open, go to the editor and click Create Project. Slow. Then wait for it to load and complete the customer, obviously, and make a new one. This is going to be the tile, and in my Snake game I've made it so that every snake, the apple, every block is all inside of one sprite, which is pretty nice. Size, so you get your square tool. Outline about 3 works quite well, and use shift to make it a square rather than a lopsided rectangle. And you can see here the size of this thing. Make it about 25. Doesn't have to be exactly, but about 25. Then, also you could use like the colour. It's with a background colour, so I like kind of do like a bit of sort of grey. Works quite well. So, I've got the tile. When the game starts, we want the tile to go down here, and that's all well and good, but we obviously want more than one tile to appear. Pretty rubbish game for Snake where you only have one thing on screen. So, what I do is make clones of ourselves. So let's maybe make 10 clones. For now, right? And you go, and that worked, didn't it? Look at these lovely 10 tiles. Obviously, you can't see the clones because they're all stacked on top of each other. So what we want to do, we've got a thing of 25 by 25 pixels. Change the, put this there, X by 25. Okay, that works quite well. There are a few gaps. If you see these, what you should do is go into the costume designer and make it a little bit bigger. About 26 should work. There you go. And make sure to put it on the centre. This works, so we can put this to about 16 maybe. There we go. Maybe I'll do 18. That way it creates 18 clones, all lovely on display, doing absolutely nothing. Obviously, no one will make one horizontal row. We want to make multiple. So we'll do this maybe about 12 times. We can always change it. Obviously, once you make the second row, you want to move it back up to this spot here, right? So I'll change the X by 18 times 25 is easily just work that out with the time operator, not divide, for goodness sake. 18, 25, 450. Change it by minus 450, see if this works, and and we obviously want to change the Y by 25, so it goes up, so it hops up to the next row. Nice. And that actually works. So we've got the thing generated. Well, you see it takes quite a bit of time to load, and to fix this, go to the My Block section, create a block, and name it Generate. It doesn't have to be named. Name it whatever you want, but Generate. Fitting name, I suppose. And make sure to run without screen refresh. This is very important, as that makes the entire process happen within a single frame, which is obviously what we want to have happened, so it doesn't take ages to load. So should do this, and if all goes well, yeah, everything happens immediately. Be a bit of lag, but yeah, that's fine. I'll maybe do a repeat 13. Yes, one extra row, that works. This is nice, but you'll see one block up here. We obviously don't want this one, right? We don't just want one lone block up here for no apparent reason. So what we want to do is make sure to hide the original sprite, because this is the original sprite, right? Not a clone, and we don't want a mixture of regular sprites and clones. They just don't work together very well. So once you've done that hide, and always make sure to show it at the beginning of the project. There we go. It is gone now. Now, what I'm going to do is create a variable called snake head. This is where the beginning of the snake is, and obviously where everything happens, right? All you control in the game of Snake is where the head moves. Everything else follows along with it. So, also, when I start as clone, or when I start as clone, I make two variables again, which are tiles, number of tiles that I've loaded already, and tile index. Make sure to tick for this sprite only. Now, when green flag clicked, set tiles to 0, and when I start clone, set tile index to tiles, and then change tiles by 1. What this does is each of these squares has its own tile index, which we can obviously use to our advantage to work out which square is which. May not seem like it, but if you get them to, maybe just an easy way to check this, say tile index. And they say, although you can see lots of them at the top, obviously you start with 2 because there's the last ones that spawn, but yeah. Now, so once we've done this, generate everything, we actually want to make a list, which is, just call it snake for all sprites. Then, I was going to make, so when green flag clicked, we're going to set the snake head to what's, I just put a little thing in there. Just, you don't add this yourself, just if touching mouse pointer and then say tile index. 2 seconds. So 115. That seems like a reasonable starting position. 134 for this one, I think. Yeah. So seems like a reasonable starting position. So we'll set snakehead to 134. 34. And then in the list snake, we do forever here. So once everything's been generated forever, if let's do an if else actually. If the snake contains tile index, Then we're going to make it a green snake costume. And let's make this. I don't know what colour it is. It's any shade of green. It doesn't need to be green, I suppose. Any shade of snake. Blue, yellow, bright pink if you want. Yeah. Snake costume. And yeah, so easily just duplicate this. And just fill this with some shade of green, right? There we go. If snake contains, I should probably put this at the bottom of here. If snake contains tile index, then switch costume. Costume to which is the snake. Else switch costume to costume uno. And so that snake at the moment is empty, so the costume will, all the costumes will be one, which is the blank, empty, just like my soul. Now, we need to obviously work out which tiles have a snake in them, part of the snake in them. So we use the snake head here. And if actually, it's probably better to put it here. If forever. So we're going to wait about 0.2 seconds between each basically iteration. Same 5 tiles a second. Now we're going to make a move. So going to add snake head to snake, and then do my box just to make things a bit cleaner. Move. What this does is it will, if so I'll make another variable called direction. Okay. And forever set direction. So, right. If put 4 direction things in there. If key arrow, down arrow, left arrow, and right arrow. So the up arrow key is pressed. Set direction to you can strength put up. Down keys pressed to set it down. Left keys pressed to set it left, and then if right keys pressed, set it to right. There we go. So if direction equals is to right, then change snake head by 1. Changing it by 1 moves it across 1, so this would be 115. If it's moving right, then tile index will change to 116, then 117, 118, and so on. If it's moving up, it'd be a bit more difficult, go from 116 to 134 to 152, but that's quite easy to change. We just add on 18. Right. So if direction is right, then change snake head by 1. If direction is left, then change snake head by -1. And we do this again. If direction is up, change snake head by 18. If it's down, change it by -18. Okay. So we can do it. We look at the snake head. Okay. And obviously that doesn't work because we haven't actually, that's what. Right, but we've set the snake head to 134. We now need to change it to whatever direction it is. So, hang on. Alright, there. Alright, sorry. Alright, yeah, I'm stupid. We need to put a move in here, so there we go. So now our snake should start moving. Obviously, you'll notice that it doesn't actually crash, and the tail doesn't disappear, so it goes infinitely long, but that's fine. We can fix that later. Put another variable in called length of snake. And so on the green class, set length of snake to 4. Then when it's cloned forever, if make sure to delete all of very beginning of when the test clicked. Delete the whole snake list. There you go. That's better. Now if so what happens with the list, right? We'll always add it to the bottom of the list, and what I'll do is if length of the list snake is greater than the variable length of snake, then delete item 1 of snake. And now I've got a nice working snake. You can also delete this bit of debugging. Nice, now we also want to make, so 2 things left to add. We want to make the snake be able to grow in length, of course, with the apple, and we also want to make it so we can't just go off the edge of the screen. It's a pretty clear problem. the moment it's off screen. So now making it not go off the top or the bottom, it's very easy. All you can do is see, if the title index, actually this is easy. So top and bottom is nice and simple. If the snakehead is less than 0, or snakehead is greater than 234. That would be 233. I can easily test this, just looking at where the head of the snake is. Here. Want to do that. 233. If it's greater than 233, or if it's less than 0, then we'll make a block called crash. Actually, sorry, we don't need to make that. We can just stop everything. Stop all. There we go. So in theory, once the snake moves off the top of the screen, to crash a little bit prematurely there, Just 3. Something on the bottom as well. So let's easily fix this. Instead of making it less than 0, make it less than negative 13 and 246. That way. It only crashes once it's supposed to. Okay. Goodness sake. That's not meant to happen. Okay. In theory, this should work. In theory. So what's happening, I assume, is... I'm not sure. Oh, maybe it might work. Hang on, I'm not sure. Maybe it's just lag. So it's meant to happen. Because it got to the top of the screen. Yeah, it gets to the top of the screen there, then it just stops. Now, am I upwards movement correct? Yeah, because if you look at the snake head, the variable, it gets to 248 there, which it shouldn't. Range. Well, Snakehead is always set to the tile index, right? And therefore, this tile index is 233. Oh, 234. It's greater than 234. That should work. There's no reason why that shouldn't work. I think these variables is getting in the way a little bit. So it's 134 there. So it's 134, okay. What is happening? So that works if I turn immediately after. Was it going off the left and right? Expected we haven't broken that yet, but that is so weird. Actually, I think I know what's happening. I think I know what's happening here. I think what's meant to happen. I might have to move. I think it's an order problem with this. Yeah, I think that works. There we go. Yes, but move before add snakehead to snakehead, and before the 0.2 second wait. Now I've got all that dealt with. Going off the left and right is still a bit of a problem. What we can do is use the modulo operator to look at this. If the snake's on the very far right of the screen, then the tile index mod 18 will be so the tile index is 13, then 13 mod 13 is 0. So if the tile index mod 13 is equal to 0 and the direction is right, or direction facing would be right, what we can do is crash. Although that's a bit of a problem with that, because it's perfectly okay to be on the far right of the screen, just as it is perfectly okay to be on the far left right of the screen. But moving off, from the right to the left is a problem. But for now, I'll see if this works, right? Snakehead equals, actually sorry now, tile index mod 13 equals 0. I just write that down, but I'm putting 13 so it needs to go up and down, up and right to left. So 18 mod 18 should equal 0. 17 doesn't. 16 doesn't. So therefore, tile index is, on the far right of the screen. Then you should look at what's happening. And by the same logic, if it's on the far left of the screen. So I can put this up here, can't I? If direction is right, then if it's on the far right of the screen, we can just have an error. By error, of course, I mean stop all. And by the same logic, we can do identical thing on the right, on the left. So now, hopefully, that didn't work. Never mind. What's the problem here? Great. Oh, I'm done. Watch tile index if snakehead mod 18 and snakehead mod 18. There we go. That should work. Wonders. Okay, it works, but it happens a bit too late. Am I being dumb? I think I am. Rather than making this equal, it's supposed to be 17 and 0, I think. That should work in theory. There we go. That's how it starts at 0. There we go. So now I can't move off the screen. Got a snake, it's very close to working actually. All we need now is to make so it can't crash into its own body and that it's an apple that appears. So, first things first, making it so it can't crash into its own body. That's not too tricky, we just do it forever. If snake contains actually up here. Okay, before I do this, snake contains snake head. Then it isn't perfect, but it should do the job for now. Stop all. So that, there you go. If you crash into your own body, you die. Nice. Something else you probably do, because in theory, what you could do is make going like a circle, right? Like square, I suppose. It's quite hard to pull off this, but you should be able to go up, down, up, right, down, left, up, right, down, left, in a 4x4 circle, where you're constantly, directly next to your own tail. So what we should also make sure is that if the snake contains a snake head, then if if item number of snake head is equal to 1, this means that if it's touching the very end of itself, it should be fine. And what on earth happens here? That should not happen. That doesn't work at all. Am I doing it the wrong way around here? Might be this. This might be... well, nope, not at all. It is 1, but we show this. So what happens? In theory, that should be fine. What I can do is it can go back on itself. So why can it do this? Well, this should be a knot. That's the problem. This should be a knot. That way, if you move in the opposite direction, it's crash. Shall make it easier to control, put this in 9. Sorry, 8. Make this an 8. There we go. There you go. So this works fine. I'll even actually make another snakehead costume just to make it a bit more clear where the snakehead is. Make this maybe a bit darker. That should work. Maybe make this a bit brighter, just a bit of contrast. So if snake contains the tile index, then if the snake head is the tile index, switch the costume to 3. Oh, that's annoying. It like flashes temporarily. But I think some if else should be a bit better. That works. That should work anyway. No, not at all. Great. I think it'll be something, so hang on. I'll do this. Hang on, what's that? So this should work, shouldn't it? Or is that going to make everything flash? I don't know why it's flashing like that. It's weird. Because in theory, it's... Should be solid. It's where the snake head is. That's a glitch as well. How on earth does that make a difference? That's strange, because if the costume, because here we're not limiting, by making the costume through, we're not making it have to be part of the snake. Not part of the snake can always be within the boundaries. So logically there should always be one tile that's flashing if it was glitched like that. Anyway, I can't be bothered to keep going, so goodbye. Ah.